well, good luck with 2024, guys. It's the election cycle, riots every 4 years. They've got to cover up anything they're doing because well, this time, 2020 obviously showed that the humans are just cattle. And if you actually went outside and looked around, you might actually notice too that maybe in USA the humans aren't cattle. Maybe they are the enemies. And well, that's what you get if you married into them. And, no, your children are, I mean, they don't like you to begin with. They're just marrying into everyone's family to get rid of them. So what they do is they do that, and then they'll get rid of their own offspring. I mean, they'll get rid of themselves for fun and stuff. I mean, they're scared of death and stuff. They're sissies about that, but it's just a job to marry into everyone's family in a nation and get rid of them. Obviously, that worked really well throughout the centuries, marrying into the ruling families. And, um, if your family ever went anywhere, they probably got in there. Now, if your family didn't do much, they kind of consider that the lowest slave class, the ones who aren't like credible or like useless eaters, right? So there are definitely some groups that they relegate to soldiers and slaves, not because they want them and they think they're competent, the soldiers and slaves, but because they're there and they need to be doing something. So, yeah, there's probably a few people. I mean, they definitely pick the good ones. Like they make sure they marry into any couple Hollywood people who weren't them to start. Like not like Marilyn Monroe is like a prime example of anyone you should want to be like just a straight. Oh, I mean, maybe the media like didn't cover her awards from from school or something like that. But I mean, I just got the idea like, and yeah, they can do that. They can make people like Elon Musk look good and Donald Trump look good. So they can paint her bad if she wants, but that's a bad example. No one ever should have worshipped people like that, really. She was just a bimbo. She wasn't even a musician. Although I'm not too sure if any of the musicians are musicians. Let's ignore the clone thing and the fact that the music and movies are being auto generated. But not too sure if they're actually playing music. Some of these people definitely aren't. Like are getting caught now. But I mean, I'm assuming all the music's been auto generated anyways. That's why there's so much bad music and that's how they're able to push so much out at certain times too, because it just runs it through, and that's why there's also really generic, basic stuff that gets popular because it's probably just the AI algorithm deciding what works, according to its programming. That's all it has to go by. That's how it creates the personalities and stuff. It has limited programming on the consciousness it can create, apparently. It definitely was testing that. And so, yeah, hopefully everyone can take their free Teslas they got for Christmas that was my Christmas wish. I posted that like 6 months ago or something. I don't know. Definitely months ago. Everyone gets a free Tesla so they can sell it for some money. And Elon Musk gets to pay for it with all that money he's been stealing. So, Yeah. Enjoy your Teslas, Santa people. Yeah, the Santa people, you guys are the ones who are worshiping the people doing this stuff. So, like when this stuff kicks off this year, no, don't go crying to people about what's going to be happening. I was told when I first entered this game the script of where things were going, and so I've known this. You pretty much have to be an imbecile to not have seen this, especially after 2020. Pretty much they were just like slapping you in the face, like, "Are you so dumb that we can just do this?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, here's a gun. Go shoot some people for me if they don't take the poison. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah, 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 yeah." I mean, literally, that's what we're dealing with. These are the personalities they can create. Oddly, it can create personalities like that, but it can't create certain other like types of personalities that I've requested and stuff. Pretty much, I guess, most of what I would have asked for. But it can't do it because the game's incapable of creating that personality. I do believe that that's why it is. Just like it's capable of doing the things it does do, but it can't fall off a deviated path. It's simply like asking Mario in my video game in Mario 1 to fly, and he doesn't fly in Mario 1 because the computer doesn't know what that means when you say, "Make I need Mario to fly." It doesn't know what flying is. But yeah, so this is gonna be so fun, isn't it? All the little whiny babies, they're terrorists. All the little terrorists are gonna be whiny babies, and they're like they're like the enemy. Like not just the enemy, they're mix. You know, like their genetics are the enemy's genetics. Um, so there's really nothing you can do. I'm assuming if they have if they own many nations, what are you gonna do? Go to an island somewhere and start a resistance movement with like how are you even going to find five people who aren't related to them? I'm not even allowed around other races. My whole life, they've been made sure that I'm separated from other people. And then when 2020 came, I was pushing the envelope and I tricked them into showing me. And I'm assuming the game tricked them into that. The game literally had them sitting there running their mouths. So whatever it is that puppeteers them had them running their mouths like wow they were doing it. While I'm telling other people they're doing it, they're like doing it and talking about doing it. It's like you are really you got no free will, do you? And yeah, with all puppeteering I've seen, obviously that's exactly what it is. Like when Alex Jones brags that every 4 years they have riots when he's warning you, but he's really married to the enemy, and it looks like the enemy, and works with the enemy, everything over and over. It's they say they have to tell you they do that like he's saying he's one of the good guys, but he's telling for them that they do the election cycle thing every 4 years and they cause riots during the elections and release plagues during the elections and stuff like that. Because in his clone brain, he says that their people say that they have to tell you that stuff because of karma, which is utter nonsense. Um, First of all, I don't. Why would a Christian even talk about karma? That's Buddhism. Again, he's pretty deceptive. Um, again, it's their people in control of all the religions, so it's kind of the same thing over and over, anyways. But yeah, so he said they were going to do that, and he's the one who pointed out to me before I knew I seen it, because you can't, like, as much as I avoid humans, like, they've always got to talk. I mean, like, I know it's probably just a game, they're humans. What humans? I don't. I only know one group of people, and they don't seem very human to me. Um, I, it's just a game, like pushing, the storyline. Like when you play a visual novel, the character has a set thing. The character arrives. So you're like, oh, surprise! Shirley showed up in her car. Who could have guessed that? It's like, maybe the game's designer or anyone who's played the game before knew that Shirley was going to show up in their car, but they're like, oh, Shirley showed up. Ah, Shirley, what's going on? Oh, on TV, this this rat-looking person called Mike DeWine was saying some things, and like they telling you like the story progression, right? The AI are there to tell you the story progression in a visual novel. They aren't just there to be like, hey, how's it going? Hey. Like all my interactions are pretty much like because I like keep my interactions to nothing on almost every interaction I have until I get one of the things I wanted, which I only want one thing now, really. And let's wait for our entire existence to come to an end and hope one of those things happen one day. Right? Not. Um, I can't keep the AI out of my life because they're so obsessed with me that like I just go outside and they have to send a random stranger to tell me the new update in the storyline or something. And I just mess with the visual novel these days. Like, is this multiple choice? Is this a multiple choice visual novel? It's probably not. There's no choice in this world. Like I can make my own decisions somewhat and try to change things, but it's just a rail based game. Not even a game. It's more like a female's thing. Visual novels are definitely playing one that's 800,000 hours long. That is not anything a man would ever want to do. I don't understand why there's no escape from this place. But I just you sit there and you pick a few words, and then you're supposed to be like, oh, okay, Shirley, let's go back to your place, or no, I don't have time, Shirley, right now, or hey, I've got Mike with me, you want to go hang out with him? I have like 3 4 choices, and then so I just like to make up some random stuff like fuck off, like although I'm supposing that is one of the choices, but I like to deliver it in a more unique fashion. Like, I'm pretty sure most of my replays here are me sitting looking at people when they're telling me, like, there's updates in the storyline, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I had no idea you're going to start talking about this. Just a random stranger coming up out of nowhere. Who could have guessed that you're going to be progressing the storyline further with this conversation, this forced interaction here? Very abusive AI. Very abusive. See, it doesn't understand personalities. That's why it can't create personalities. And it has to go by its little pool of random generation traits it can produce and stuff. Because it's not a living being operating it. It has no personality. It has no ability to understand personalities and stuff. It has no morals. So you can tell again, it's not a living character that actually supersedes the events, the randomly auto procedurally generated events sometimes it goes with a little bit of procedure, but not really. Not really. Obviously, we can have reached 2020 being the breaking point to where I get shown the revelations, what Earth is. And if it wasn't like a dead set rail like game, like that's when I asked to see everything. That's when I got it. So that technically should have been my choice, but then again, I don't know. Um, uh, I'm supposing the one who controls my avatar probably has a little more say than he allows the character to let on with. But yeah, gonna be some fun times listening to little babies. I love babies. Oh my god, that's all I need, and that's my favorite thing in life. That's why I don't go outside because there's just so many babies outside that it's overwhelming with joy. Oh, there's crack babies, there's meth babies, there's TV babies, there's cult babies, there's all sorts of babies. It's so overwhelming to the senses that my joy just off the charts, and I get all excited, do a happy dance and stuff. Do the happy dance, and people be like, "What are you doing?" I'm talking. I'm like, "I'm doing a happy dance." Be like, "You can't do that. I got to say hi and ask you how's the weather today, and update you on the political situation and the story of the game and stuff. Did you did you see that person who was looking in your window last night? No. How do you know someone was looking in my window? How do you know where I live? Oh, that doesn't matter. But they were doing that because uh, my friend dropped something over there. I mean, literally, this is something that that throws in the storyline like they're just mind melted individuals, just gone. But they say something intelligent, and it's like, oh, okay. And then it shows me the puppet dance in 2020, where it's just like literally the strings are being pulled on crowds of people, and they're doing their little marionette dances and stuff. When they're not. They did it on TV. You didn't have to be there. You didn't have to see my videos of it. They had the doctors at the cult hospital at the pedophile palace over there. They had them doing the New World Order dance and stuff with Illuminati gang signs, and they were all like scripted, like a dance troupe. Which, if I just go pick up a homeless person on the street, I think unless I allow it to happen, they don't know dance troupe moves and stuff, right? Like whatever it is that marionettes, the clones, um, obviously could make them do a dance. It could have made them pass kindergarten, but it chooses not to. It chooses to randomly hand out little things, and there's probably predefined characters in certain situations. But yeah, so they come up and then they push the storyline further, and you have Alex Jones bragging for his people to release their karma. He just got all those people busted trying to kick in the White House door. All those are probably the few people in the world who are actually cared about anything that was going on, misled as they were. Too bad they didn't get the message. I got the message early on. People tell me things like I said. How does that even work? I'm pretty sure I've got it figured out how that actually works. But they told me a long time ago when I first got into it. They're like, "Yeah, watch out for this dude, because he's probably just making a list of people that need to be rounded up." The Alex Jones Trump supporters, they're not on. I mean, it only takes a little bit of research, unless all that research has been removed. All that documentation and photographic evidence has been removed. It only takes a little bit of research to find out that they're scumbag liars, and and that this is a continual pattern with them to do the same exact same thing over and over and over and over and over. Every year, the election's rigged, and it really is. It's rigged by them. It's rigged by the people telling you they're rigging it against them. That way, you focus on them and vote for them, and then obviously, what are they going to do this time? Well, there's always going to be riots. I wonder who the rioters are going to be. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. If they're pushing that storyline, and they've been doing it every year. Oddly, it's like it's been doing it every year, like every 4 years, like they were just waiting for me to come join the party and stuff. And I, but I definitely wouldn't have got the vision until 2020 because it's written that 2020 vision is perfect sight. So um, when 2020 hits, that's when that's when I asked to see everything. I thought maybe that had more to do with it, um, what I got to see. Um, but I wasn't asking to see everything before 2020 either. So yeah, pretty sure this is their little plan. This is how this works and stuff. And well, good luck because it looks like I'm limited. I've been kept around one group my entire life and away from other. I haven't. I don't know any other human races. Um, we can. I'll make a video discussing further if people thought that was a good move to hurt me, or if people thought that that was a good move to try to get me on their side. Because that's definitely some clone thinking there. If it was being done to keep me to themselves, because that's exactly how you lose someone is by holding on so excessively tight that you assault them if they try to dance with a person of a different race and abduct them. Um, yeah, how many times has that scenario happened in my life? Yeah, that's not a positive thing anymore. So I don't know if anyone thought that that was like keeping God to themselves or something, but assaulting and abduction and kidnapping, yeah, probably just ruined any chance there. But yeah, yeah, enslavement to the highest order. So if there's so many other people like that too, then well, everyone's outnumbered, and not only that, everyone's related to them. What are you gonna do? Just laugh it off, right? What are they gonna do? Pit the half breeds against other people, and because they don't like the halflings either. And like it's just a weapon of war. That's all that marrying into a ruling family is. I mean, I personally like to look at leaders of nations because I run for that job, so I figure I should get a female who has something in common with me someday in my life. It was nice to have a person who was way too close to the government for comfort in my life because like we could actually have conversations. And whereas the other times it's just you have sex with someone once or twice and you go live in a different room for 6 years until you finally find a way to escape, and you usually just leave all your stuff behind because you're not going to get out of there with anything safe. um, those relationships are pure garbage and should have never been forced into that. But hey, someone's being forced around one group of people in this world. And so I often wonder, since we have proof since 2020 that's been happening. Just how deep is that where people are sent my way who have nothing in common with me and I don't even like, and that's like a lot of my relationships. Um, yeah, especially when I'm looking for other people and then they're abducting me and assaulting me to get me away from um, people who don't look like them, and then bring me over to their table and holding my hand and stuff as if like I know this person, and as if I want them or something. Like what I call 1-800 Playboy Rejects, and they sent me some hooker they found in the alleyway. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's the whole other marrying thing, marrying into bloodlines, making sure that they're gone. But with me, they're not worried about the marriage. It's just worried about controlling a halfling. I'm going to assume that's the storyline there. Is people think that the person they're after might be a halfling. But, I mean, I'm a holing. I'm a living being. I might be in an avatar, but this is a living being operating the thing. So um, I don't consider myself part of any of it on that level. I could have chosen any shell to enter. It's a possibility. It's a really strict, basic visual novel with limited choices. So I really doubt that there's much choice in this world at all. Um, So, but maybe I got to choose my avatar when I came here, and then it like fills in the template, like where everyone has my picture, whatever avatar I choose ends up filling that open. But I don't know. As strict as it is, it might have just had one main character to choose from, and you didn't get to build your own avatar. But yeah, I don't know what anyone else is gonna want to do. Who do I trust? Almost everyone I like. You want to see my conversations with people? Like my conversations with people are like people telling me to shut up and quit talking about the evil aliens who are enslaving us. And I don't call them the evil aliens enslaving us, but like it's like these people are getting offended. They're getting worried for themselves. They got a dog in the fight, as Mel Gibson said. They got a dog in the fight. Yeah, and they're just poor AI can't control themselves. They gotta run their mouths too much. They can't just let things go. They gotta push the narrative and unfold the storyline. Oh man, if I don't go outside, like I if I don't go outside and I only go outside like one day a month, they make sure someone comes up and tries to push the storyline. And these days, it's just like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. And there's a war going on in the world. I've never even heard of wars before. What's that? Like, Israel. Where is that? President? What do those people do? Wait a minute. How'd you know I was running for president? You're a stranger. I've never met you before. I think you need to get your COVID vaccination, my friend. Your corona is out of whack. You need the corona vaccine. I think you're having some issues here in the corona. I mean, this shit's offensive, and whoever is behind this has no fucking respect for how bad they offend me. So, hey, that's your choice. If you wanna, if there are actual choices I get to make in this game, oh, that's gonna affect everything. That's been affecting everything, and the most positive way for me. Negative, well, I hate the life. I hate existing and being forced to be here now. But hey, this shit's probably gonna get fun. I mean, imagine if I did go around like just being all soft and lovable, and then there's a war going on, And everyone around me is like a backstabbing betrayer, and I'm like, all up to him and kissy woo woo with the Twader, kissy woo woo with the evil enslaver people. Like that, that would not have floated very well in a war zone, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't just Ukraine. Zelensky should try that. I mean, I'm assuming that's going to be one of the main warfare techniques for some of these people is trying to. They even said that in some of the comments I was reading on Russian media. What are they? What are they going to do? Like bend over and start it, and the men start when they run out of ammo because they were talking about how Europe's like out of ammo and doesn't. They said their leader said they don't have enough ammo to fight for 2 days when Russia hits their borders because they gave it all to the special privileged people, the Zelenskys. And, well, that's what you get. We've got a nation full of Zelenskys, and most of them look rather half Zelensky to me, at the very least, half. And they definitely act very Zelensky. And we got Mike DeWine running the state. You know, he's got that mark of the beast on his face, where the you play a video game or you ever watch a movie, and the bad guy usually he looks like deformed. You got like Skeletor and He-Man, and he's like that's a good impression of Mike DeWine. Yeah, Mike DeWine, guys, hang on, the hell are on? Like the game. And they're the people who they had to take over the media and destroy all this stuff to get that all acceptance through because they're not accepted. And that's the only way they get anywhere is by tricking nations into accepting them. And then they get the money, they bring the money they've stolen from somewhere else probably. And like when they left Germany, when they got booted out of Germany, they probably stole all their money. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Everyone stole Germany's money and gold. That was part of the plan. Sure, that's going to happen there in a few places here soon. Right? It's same thing over and over. Literally, the game is on like a cycle, and it's almost as if I could have chosen at any point in time to jump into it. But the 2020 vision thing says that it was going to happen in 2020 when I fully understood. Not when I jumped in like 8 years before that, but when I fully understood that I'm not in politics. I'm in a game world here that's way off the charts of what anyone here thinks is going to be possible because they only wage war against other nations. They thought that their masters were keeping them alive and stuff because they like them. They're like, hey, look, they're marrying us. Marilyn Monroe was like, he wants to marry me. He's got some money. Well, that's it. I mean, a bitch as dumb as she acted, anyways. Not a big loss. I mean, she's pretty, but not a big loss to lose a dumb bimbo. But I would just say the reason why. I mean, the game has its written reasons why some people are stupid. I mean, the game's blaming everything except for itself for why the people it's generating are stupid. And I'd like to point out, I think the game is stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to point out that the AI inventing this stuff here, if it's not just dead set that way, if there really is any auto generation and it's not just all fully scripted before coming, I'd like to point out that people didn't do so well in school and don't know what's going on because the game is making it that way. I'd like to point that out for the record, that there's more than just a group of evil people the game is probably generating that is making people dumb. Because when it does the mind possession and uses strangers to talk to me, obviously, this person's smarter than. This is a bum digging through the dumpster, and he's smarter than any human I've ever met. He knows my personal life, and I'm from 2,000 miles away. You're telling me that's a person who failed kindergarten by their own choice? No, I don't think so. Now, once the dumbasses started running their mouth in 2020, I just assumed that the game is like trying to clue me in. Like, pretty sure it's toughening me up and stuff. It's like, hey, there's a war going on, and you're letting the terrorists just walk all over you, and then it walks right into your home, come up to you and hug you and grab you and stuff, and oh look what happened. You got poisoned again, didn't you? Maybe you should quit that. It's like, no game, no AI. Maybe you should quit it because this game should be smashed. This game should be smashed. 1,000,000%. Nintendo out the window, my friend. That's how much I care for Nintendos. I did that before I knew this was a game world. So, and the game itself is rather stupid with the memory thing, it seems. Or I guess it makes the people stupid sometimes because they'd be like saying little snippy things and stuff, acting like they don't know who I am, and then they'd be telling me about my personal life, and they do know who I am, like, and then be all snippy and stuff, and it's like, whoa, Mr. Snippy Snaps. You remember that time, like, I was just Mr. Snap? And, yeah, like, you running your mouth about not being able to do anything, as if I don't accidentally fuck shit up without even trying. Never had that happen, but I guess the game doesn't allow the people it sends little updates through and stuff to get the full scope of what they're dealing with, the full picture there. But yeah, I mean, hey, the game is continually updating me. The people you guys worship are, well, you guys just got done spending all your money and time worshiping them. Isn't that great? You know what? They actually claim that you coming together, and doing that is what gives them power. Like, they've tried to take things from me. Like, I'm holding something in my hand, and when the energy around me is like doing things like fucking flooding cities and things like that, there's been plenty of times where people act like they need to have something I'm touching as if that's transferring energy too, and like they're trying to gain my power or something. And they say they seem, the computer makes them some of the smarter people. So they say, they're rolling the world. They say that, like the coming together and the worshiping them, like pretty much transfers energy to them. So, good job, guys. Great job. Just fucking with the devil worship. If we're gonna do devil worship, let's just start, carving pentagrams into ourselves and scream and kill everybody. I don't like to pull these dumb punches and stuff, and backdoor hand someone all my energy and stuff. Just come out and be like, hell, the new world order, kill everybody. I find that more respectable than people who are wishy-washy and I'm gonna transfer my power to the devils. mutilating those children for the good people of the world. How dare you call them devils? I'm gonna punch you if you call child mutilators devils again. Santa is a good person too. Santa is my favorite lover. He comes by every night when my husband's asleep. That's if you're a man. If you're a woman these days, you're married to a woman, right? Oh boy. Wow. The whole storyline here. Interesting. I'm telling you, I didn't start it. I didn't start the fire. But I tried to throw some accelerant on it, thinking it would help speed up the storyline. But apparently 2020 was right on time, so I don't think it really did anything. I think it just went as written. I actually weird thoughts. I mean, fuck it. I'm pretty educated on what's going on here, so I'm not sure they're even my thoughts all the time. Versus me being told what's going on, but it might be the game might be being written in the future. Like, you think there's a past and all this stuff, and I don't. I don't think that part at all. But it's like something you would have to like think about for a while and be shown some stuff to see. Like, because if the time's alterable at all, then it's a high probability that that's the case. How some of the things have changed and stuff, but it really doesn't change, and it's really extremely rail based here. So yeah, boy, that's not very good because what does that mean? That means like enslavement and uh, you know concentration camps, FEMA camps, right? I mean, that's what their people were bragging about was FEMA camps and stuff. I mean, hey, I'm down with sending people back to school until they can learn to pass school if they need to. Um, and but that's like also a waste of money. But it's a game-based world. There's no money. There's no if there's any sort of money problem, it's just being set up because storyline. And just along with the school thing, if people were supposed to pass school, it would have made them pass school. Like when they come and talk to me and tell me intelligent things. Yet before, some of these people were likely buffoons. Like, why is this person digging in the dumpster and throwing stuff around? If he's like, award winning scientist or something. And then he knows my personal information. And it's like, huh. So, sending you to school, sending that person to school, wouldn't help them pass school at all. So, the school thing, I think it had several purposes, but I think it was also to hide the fact that the game wasn't fully invented then. And all the people didn't exist. And when I was traveling at really high rates of speed to lots of places, the world just happened to have an excuse for why the world looked like a ghost town. But yet, it was being invented, wasn't it? And the game seems to lack some sort of processing power or something, or memory. I guess I'd be both. I know I've seen lots of people in areas at certain times. I think it's most likely processing power if I'm traveling. You know, through like 7,000 cities in a week. A high enough rate of speed to get that far, that fast. Then I was assuming that it was a ghost town because some of the other stuff I was seeing, like stuff just magically appearing out of nowhere. It's like, oh, if that can happen. Hell, I've seen the city stuff, and before I've seen like small things start appearing and stuff like money. Or, ask for a bottle of water, I turn around and it's behind me, something like that. But yeah, I don't know what they. Who am I even talking to? There's no one. Make sure, like I keep saying, if there's anyone out there, um, make sure you distance yourself from the wrong people, no matter the cost. I mean, your life is going to be the cost. You know, you'll be lucky if your life is the cost. These people have been enslaving and not caring. It's a whole unique system of mental abuse that they put upon people and drugging and I mean, the drugging is so prevalent. It's just accepted in many situations. And I mean, it's in the water supplies. You literally go to their little cult barn, their little cult ritual worship places, and they sell you pills and stuff, or shots. And then they force them on people too. I mean, but they were already doing that, right? It's totally accepted by society to kidnap people and drug them and abuse them. Um, and now, what's unfolding? Is this really unfolding like this? Like, I mean, this is the way it's always said it's going to unfold. You just have to see what you just have to like be honest with yourself, and you can understand real fast. There's barely any parables about what was happening and how that uh, comes to today. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so if you got the wrong people around you, well, you're shit out of luck if that's your children, and you're gone. I mean, that's not. I mean, literally, you're gonna be gone from the group, the end group. So you're not gonna bring any of those people around us, around me. I mean, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason people want to be around me other than just to keep me to themselves because I'm cute. Obviously, there's some sort of storyline going on here, and so and besides, like it's just gonna be like the enemy, anyways. So I mean, damn, dude, like they're married and everyone like worships these people literally. I don't think even if I used to talk, I had a band I used to talk about every now and then. If I ever talked about something like a Hollywood star, there was like one band I would talk about sometimes if I talked. And then I learned all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, no more obsession over Hollywood stars for me. And that's that. But everyone else is gonna be like, oh, that's Elvis though. That's Marilyn Monroe. Oh, she's a good person. We gotta let her in. Open the door. Let her in. Let her in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let the vampire in. Let the vampire in. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, they're already doing that. Like, everyone already does that in your like personal life. Like, I can imagine like trying to go out here. I mean, obviously, I have the group surrounds me and doesn't let me talk to other human races, um, or whatever these things are on this planet. Other humans, what? Okay, so there's clearly things here that aren't at all humans and probably not at all living, considering the fake game world and the AI like tendencies it has, the repetition of a non living being. But there's some devil motherfuckers on this planet. We know that shit for sure. And, well, if you're in America, you're fucking surrounded by them. It's nation number one of devils and shit. Like, legalize pedophilia, child sacrifice is the first second you're born. And it's cute and cool. It's so cute and cool, but you know what happens when you're a halfling is, the people who are spitting in your face and telling you that yeah, who are your masters and stuff, like they've already, I mean, if you could just learn to read, wipe the spit out your eyes, read their books, the people you guys worship, um, all those people on TV, their religions are you. If you're a halfling, you have the slave religions, and they have the master religion there, and it clearly defines all this stuff to poison and kill off others and stuff. They celebrate it. That's their holidays. It's conquering people who didn't like what they were doing. So, yeah, that's where Trump comes in, because people didn't like some things going on, apparently. And so they have to set someone up like Trump who's going to poison the people. Pretty basic storyline. I knew this stuff when I was brought into the game. I think I was like 4 when I was inserted into the game. And I just like, I don't remember like watching it on TV or anything. So I'm assuming that was like some of that information I was like born with, inserted into the game with. Like I could, I did all that school stuff. And it's like, come on, where'd that information come from? That, I don't know. It could have been the people around me telling me that stuff, but I really doubt that. I mean, there is that two-sided thing where the AI makes it like, so they don't speak, like they don't do well in school, but then they know my personal life and things like that, like they're a total stranger or something, failed school, but knows my personal life, so it could have always did that. It's like, do the strangers come up to me talking to me? Do they even know that they're just part of a game? Like when they're clearly just coming up and being like, "You're running for president, aren't you?" It's like, how do you know? No one knows that. Or no, no, they actually they just casually threw that in the conversation the other time, and it's like, whoa, whoa, okay, well, just met you. Now I'm gonna just leave you be by yourself, because obviously we're gonna have to write this off as devil infestation when the beings are talking about stuff that they do not understand, like my personal life. Um, yeah, we're just gonna, and it is written that the devils are here, and they are. They are. I mean, freaking 5,000 child sacrifices a day in this nation. That's not the definition of where a devil could start. I don't know where else they could start. Killing people isn't fun because then you don't have slaves. So you got to understand that. And the people here, I don't know. My experiences are limited, obviously, because I don't have interaction with other races. I'm prohibited from interacting with the human races. There's a group that the devil people out there have been working overtime my whole life to apparently pull me away from the human races in all sorts of fashion, try to drug me and all this stuff. And I'm assuming it's not special to me. I'm assuming that's just their personality. That's who they are. They rape children. They drug children. They drug adults. They just want to do all that stuff. It's a game. It's like, okay, so when I play a video game, right? You have Skeletor as the bad guy, right? Like this guy right here. This guy right here. Ah, it's so evil and dark looking, right? So his personality would be like a child rapist. And this person, you see this person, you're like, so beautiful. And then they try to defeat the system that the game has created, with plastic surgery, like Elon Musk and Donald Trump. their families get their faces removed and put plastic on it. And apparently God's just like, oh, that causes cancer, and they start dying from it. Sometimes, right? I don't know if the alien demons actually die like humans supposedly do. Blackouts do occur when they drop dead near me. So I find that very odd. There's always a question. There's always questions, but I actually kind of think that is because the game does not have death scenes for the other characters, or at least certain ones. And maybe not everyone has a death scene because it would have to be something programmed into it if it's a limited visual novel, which it definitely feels like. Um, when other people die, they don't have to show you that, right? They don't have to make, when the evil AI clone dies, if it's just a nobody, doesn't have to. The designer doesn't have to like program a storyline for that. Now, when Elon Musk dies, it created Elon Musk in a few seconds, right? And so it took time to create Elon Musk like that, and then when Skeletor dies in the movie, they show Skeletor dying, but you don't, Skeletor's cousin. Why Skeletor met? His cousin died. You don't see that in the cartoon, right? So, because they didn't do that artwork, so yeah, it's hard to tell. Like when you actually see what's going on, to some extent, it's hard to tell which of those things are more prevalent and likely to be the answer. To me, it always falls back on the AI. And the game itself is very limited, if it even really has an AI in it, because it's very repetitive and set in stone. Everything says and does the same exact thing. It's not like it's changed. Even COVID didn't allow for things to change, although COVID was the year of sight and the start of um, the beginning of that. So, um, yep, that all changed, but the humans' minds didn't. They totally forgot everything. They're back to talking about Marilyn Monroe 24/7, and how big her tits are or whatever, and that's the women these days. The men are probably watching the men on TV and talking about how big their tits are. I mean, technically I do that, bodybuilder, but no, I don't even really. That weirds me out. That community can. But yeah, I mean, women are at home watching the men with big tits dance naked on Ellen. That's what they do. You know that? That's what's on Ellen sometimes. That's what's on those daytime programming for women these days. The clones, oddly, are programmed not to really like sex more than a few times. And they just like food and watching TV. And I understand that that's probably because it takes time to interact and design and interact and interaction. But, and then there's, actual storyline for certain people here who are probably in a battle versus some evil demon race who is trying to prevent them from touching other people and having children. Not that I would want that. That's abuse to bring a child in this world. I mean, I'm gonna bring a child in this world, be like, hey, we're gonna sacrifice you right now, and now these are my friends here, the Christian, satanic, atheists, Judaics. We're gonna enslave you after this and drug you. Oh yeah, and then Santa Claus is gonna come if you be good. Oh yeah, I can imagine me like telling a child that stuff. Oh my god, I can imagine me jumping off a rooftop and my child not having a parent because made like I just ruined a child's life by bringing it into this world. I could definitely see that happening, like just guilt to an extreme level. But yeah, It's gonna be fun times, right? It's always so fun. Oh boy, it's gonna be so unpredictable. Like COVID was not really unpredictable. It was literally like I just got up and left, and they shut the world down to try to stop me from having a life and drain me and take all my stuff from me. Um, that way, I can go talk to other people. Pretty sure that's more of the reality of what happened on that day. I'm going to assume that entire thing was. I mean, hey, uh, I mean, there's really like, what can you do, dude? Like, if 9 out of 10 people, okay, so 10 out of 10 people I know are them, but I just go outside and I travel the whole nation, and it's like 9 out of 10 people I see look pretty sus. You know, let's say 7 out of 10. What are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna have a friend or something? Uh, okay, let's say you have one friend. Okay, that one friend probably bred into them, probably bringing two little demon puppies with them, a demon whore who controls him. They've got family. If you got one friend, oh no, no, no! I've never met a human. You know, the game doesn't generate them like that. It doesn't generate them by themselves. They've got everything else has to look perfect and normal. You know, because the game set up to look that way and stuff. Everything has real. It's only got a limited pool of personalities and stuff it can come from. So that whole lone wolf thing is pretty rare because everything else, the whole illusion of the place couldn't even be supported if it didn't have the illusion of having the breed and stuff like that, right? And I mean, it's like it's partly tied into the storyline even, but you know, that one friend probably. I mean, how many of us have friends who aren't them? Like, I noticed my friends' friends were them. So the people who might not have been them. One person I remember in my life, I knew for a few weeks or a couple months, might not have been them. And that person's friend was definitely one of them. And they even tried to come in between me and her. Yeah, she was trying to get back with me. And then her best friend comes up to me and starts hitting on me instead. And now she's married into them. So it's like the only person I ever thought I knew might have known in my life who might not have been one of them. But there's definitely some reasons to think differently. Um, um, oh, that's a whole army of them now. And so what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, like, you might as well. I mean, if they weren't just like cowards hiding and stuff, um, they could just come out and go, "Surprise, we own you, bitches." I mean, but I think they'd rather end it on like a soft kill note where, um, you know, like, I mean, that's how it's always worked. That's why no one can talk to them, right? That's why no one can talk to them because that's that, and that's how it works. That's how they get to date people like Marilyn Monroe and stuff like that. That's how they get to have people like that in their lives is by hiding who they are and then making up a pity story about the Holocaust and shit. And yup. So it makes and then being on both sides, like Zelensky, like that is Hitler, and right, it's a perfect example. Except for back then, there was not a lot of media, so he wasn't caught on camera saying who he really was. like Zelensky has, and he's wearing those symbols and stuff too. Like the whole nation there has the symbols, just like this nation is littered with those symbols. Um, their other symbols, all of their other symbols. So what do you do? Like, I mean, I know what to do. Like, you know, try to exit the world. That's been a good option since coming here and realizing, like, oh, I'm just here to be people's little servant, aren't I? Like, I'm supposed to let them, you know, mutilate me and uh, lie to me and just whatever. And find out that I'm being separated from the other people. And it's like, oh, it's even worse than I thought. I'm not just sitting here doing nothing because the human NPC things get in the way, but it's like a concerted effort on society to do these things, the child mutilation, the drugging, like, if you're worried about something happening in the world, I mean, a little late for that, I would think. A little late for that. How come no one else? How come no one ever told me that I was being stalked and isolated and kept away from humans and stuff? I'm only allowed to. I'm only supposed to date approved females that sometimes seem pretty suspect. You know. I mean, that was a good start. Dating someone who worked with Donald Trump and you know in Hollywood. That's at least on par with what I'm used to in my family. You know, having someone to talk to about things like that. Like, what did you and Jeffrey Epstein do today? Hey, all right. You served some chicken. Good. Oh, you got some great. I'll have some. Yeah, I'm kind of used to having like intellectual conversations like that. If I even speak, that's why it's like, fuck, dude. These force interactions really get on my fucking nerves and shit. I mean, obviously, no fucking respect at all for a fucking human's wants or for a god's wants and wishes. Fucking none at all. Everybody, that's the storyline there, though, supposedly, that these people are pushing out. Aliens that the humans worship are pushing out. I mean, right? They're going to stalk me. That they're going to stalk me. Yeah, surprise! It's the people writing it, telling you about it, doing it. Surprise! Welcome to the New World Order. It's the Old World Order. They just have to change the name from Christian to Satanist to atheist every few years. And then, I guess NPC don't have free will. They can't have free thoughts. So they can't be like, oh, that's the same person. That's the same person running that cult over there. Huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I guess they can't come up with much. I mean, obviously, you know, if you want to have hope, the best hope is, oh, well, like, yeah, it's a game world, and I'm supposed to be, like, the person who saves whatever living things here aren't devil possessed, but it's like, dude, like, obviously, like, there's devil possession going on. How do these beasts, these AI out here, talk to me about my private life? Devil, 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 all day. They gotta market that word, and they also market my image and sell it too. That's pretty shady too. Like the whole stalking, isolating, separating me from other people. who don't look like them, and then marketing my image and shit and my style. Fucking, that's not cool. Those people couldn't be that great, could they? No, I don't know. You know, it's not like I'm too hard pressed about their 5,000 a day child sacrifices they make right out here on the corner building. Um, you know, and the other ones, combine them all together. And you know, it's not like I really like wake up in the morning like, oh my god, they're mutilating the children. I more or less wake up like, oh my god, the devils. Boy, these possessed people. Boy, what are they gonna do this time? Like, oh, no point in going outside because what if I met someone I liked and someone else came along and separated me from them? Because I'm not dating the right people. I got a date special with really crack whores. Only. Bro, that's been going on a long time now, hasn't it? That explains why, like certain characters never, like, contacted me again. It doesn't it? Because those people got in the way. They were doing things like getting me kicked out of places, weren't they? Like, forcing me and my family to move constantly. I bet you they were involved in that somehow. Because they're definitely involved in it these days. And what an AI did one day is probably the same thing the AI is going to do the next day because it has no ability to change. It has a simple, strict programming. It's like wakes up and watches the same TV show it's been watching for 40 years. I used to find that weird when people go around quoting TV shows and stuff. I'm like, how do you even know that stuff? It's just a TV show. It's like, oh, it's life. It's literally like your life script, isn't it? But yeah, good luck. I'm sure there'll be plenty of plenty of the demon possessed people knocking to get in. Um, uh, they're already outside, just waiting. So, um, I mean, like, dude, who is my videos limited to? Are my videos limited? Are they? Hmm. Hmm. I watch my accounts from other accounts if I can, because I don't always see them. But that works two ways. That pisses me off, and then when they send one of their whores into my life, I can fucking, have the fuel I need to tell a pair of tits I don't like the way it looks because what its people do to me. So, works. I still see it as the game allows certain things to happen on purpose like that, right? Like, right, the whole thing couldn't be happening. I couldn't become like the true leader of the world if none of this scenario was there unfolding and stuff. You know, purpose to video game stuff. I'm sure it's a game because the clones. Like, really? We're on a planet full of humanoids. There's a whole bunch of robots around us. Right. Right. Tell me again. Yeah, and that's how when I turn around, when I ask for water and turn around and it appears behind me. That's how that happens because a humanoid delivered it and froze time, delivered it, and then I turn around and it's there. Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah, that's I know, I forgot the defining thing there is moving the sun and stuff. Moving the cloud and the sun's obvious fake Earth. Obvious fake Earth. Doesn't matter how many humanoids are walking around in the script. It doesn't matter how many of the things here have been replaced by some other thing, and that they were slowly getting rid of the humans and no one knew. It doesn't matter if that's the storyline, because the sun and the clouds are fake. So, yeah. Other than that, I'm just that powerful. I do control the fucking universes and stuff. Right. Where's your free Tesla at? I don't see everyone celebrating with my free Teslas. You guys hiding it from me or something? I mean, humans are some shifty individuals, aren't they? Who knows? Obviously, the whole drugging and child mutilation. At birth, we know no limits, do we? We's a no limit soldier. We's in the human army. My no limit soldier. No limit. No limit. Learn to laugh at it. Because, hell, you've been laughing all along, haven't you? Well, the fucking child mutilation and drugging and shit's been going on, like, doing it to you, so why not laugh at it? It's not that funny. But what can you do? I mean, some people just get pissed and violent when you talk about what's going on. Like, because, not because they're like, on your side, but because they're finally, ever since I asked for the 2020 thing, the humans had to backtrack on some of their words that they used to care about what was going on and wanted to change it. And then once 2020 hit, I guess maybe it got a little too real in the programming there. And again, not necessarily blaming devils for being devils, but because the computer can, pretty sure the computer can just reprogram, right? I'm, I got that power and stuff, but come on. Right. I didn't set up the original script here, so. Pretty sure I didn't, right? I mean, granted, I never was a 4-year-old. I was just in a 4-year-old body, so. And I was winning awards for writing back then, so I could have written some stories back then. But, yeah. Pretty sure the last story I would come up with is, hey, look, there's people. I don't know, that does sound like a good story. Hey, there's people sacrificing children. We got to go down here to this planet and see what's going on. That does really, at the end of the day, that does sound like a story I would write. I wouldn't necessarily talk about children. I'm going to assume in reality land we don't actually have children and stuff, and we're moral beings and stuff. And, death is, ancient history. And, yeah, it probably might not have ever even been history. It might be something just invented to play little video games and stuff. That's all the excitement to a video game, isn't it? Used to be that's like every video game ever. They weren't like this Earth game that's 800,000 hours long. Takes 400,000 hours to get to the point of actually even seeing what's going on. And then for the game to actually start unfolding, it's like the first half was all skill building or something, or studying and analyzing. It's like a foretelling of why things are happening and what's going on in the world, how everyone acts and stuff. Because you couldn't there's no book. They wouldn't allow a book to be written talking about how people act, because people publish the books wouldn't like that book very much, because it have a lot of words about them in it, and that would get nowhere if the game storyline were to stay stable. And no one goes around talking about this shit for some reason, maybe because they feel complicit in it. I know if I had a kid, that'd be the first thing I'd be teaching it. I'd be like, teaching it to do push-ups by 3 days old, and you know, I'd be winning awards from the president by the time it's 6 and stuff. And I'd be training it like, yeah, hey, you know, there's a war going on out here that everyone's hiding from you, and if you bring one of those people to my house, you can go home with them when they leave. Yeah, I'd have to, you know, get squared, get that squared away, straight to the point. But yeah, and that's really, you know, the message of this video, what that was meant to be, is if, you know, if all this stuff is happening, and as far as I know, all this stuff did happen, and they keep pushing their narrative and doing their thing. Well, that's that. You're gonna have to tell your child if they bring one of them home, but they go home with them. But I wouldn't let them in my house, you know. Who knows what the alien demons really have power to. I believe it's possible in their heads that they're living aliens who watch the Earth from space and make a joke of it. It's possible that that's what they believe, but I also, you know, not too sure how intellectual they are, and I would assume that anyone that has access to places other than Earth is probably like a massive knowledge. It probably just wouldn't be very easy to even understand them. It would probably be extremely difficult for them to have a conversation with someone, with a human, talking about Marilyn Monroe and stuff. And I doubt they'd be obsessed with people like Marilyn Monroe if they were some advanced, intelligent race. I mean, maybe they really are just like those evil. You know, they do look like that group from Star Trek. Yeah. I don't know what they're called. Not the Klingon, the Ferengi or whatever. I don't know. The little trolls and stuff. Ooh, bro, that smile that thing does. Like, once I started seeing that the world's fake, like everyone, it did that smile to me at weird times and shit. And I always used to wonder, like, why is this person always smiling like this and stuff? Before I knew anything, I just, like, was kind of weirded out by it. And a lot of this stuff I remember ends up playing key roles in story development, plot unfolding. Like the times when I noticed the other beings separating me from other people before I knew that that's what they were really doing. And yeah, that started way before I had any of these thoughts. So their dumbassery that I'm inventing that with my mind, that started a long time ago. And that also explains why certain people, I had the chance to meet one or two people I liked when I was young, and weird things, well, people would play games with the phone systems and stuff like that, or get the phone shut off, and we'd have to move and shit, so I basically had no contact with anyone for more than a few weeks, outside or inside. Few months, I guess. I moved every few months or something. But yeah, amazing. This is going to be so amazing and great. I'm sure it'll all be perfect and fine. Yeah, right. I wake up today and then they put rat-faced DeWine on the the cover talking about they're banning tobacco and stuff, flavored vapes, not tobacco. They're banning flavored vapes. Obviously, they're doing that to piss me off because they want me to go fucking wring their asses. Um, Obviously, that's whatever puppeteers them, you know, trying to incite me to go put my foot up their ass and shit, and I'm trying to not have any part of this. Everyone can put their own foot up each other's asses, and then once the numbers are reduced to a manageable number, then I'll feel safe to go around the alien demon scumbags, and then I'll start putting my foot up people's asses. But right now, well, I'm tired of the humans and their little alien devil masters and their fucking games. And I mean, it happened last time. I put fucking a building through someone's head. That shit didn't. Humans, I mean, the police weren't too bad. The police were just like, God, fucking, damn, dude, you killed the scumbag, damn, dude. You know, we gotta take you in for this, right? So you can give your side of the story and all this. Oh, yeah, I know, dude. That's why I called you, dude. I know. Yeah, so go out there. I remember when Mike DeWine met me, he was so fucking scared. Like, why was he scared of me? Right? I'm telling you, the game, dude, the game just like struck the fear of God into this dude and stuff when I went around him. Fucking his security team was scared, dude. They all look scared. I'm like, damn, dude, your bodyguards are scared. Where'd you hire them at Popeye's Chicken or something? Or did you find him in the dumpster there or something, looking for some food? But yeah, I don't. And it's too cold to go out, anyways. So I can't go out and play with Mike D. Whiny, the whiny baby. Mike D. Whiny baby. Oh no. And I don't want to, anyways. It's Columbus. Wait, what am I going to do with Columbus? I wasn't running for mayor or school board leader of Columbus. God, I was running for world leader. What am I going to do? Do you have make a new country western holiday for? I wouldn't know what to do with this place. They already got their rainbow city built. They already got the rainbow streets with the flashy rainbow lights and everything, and I couldn't have came up with that on my own. I definitely would have voted no on that. I don't even like freaking like 18 colors all mashed together and stuff. I think the rainbow is tacky. You don't need to be wearing like 9 different colors or painting anything 9 different colors, you know. I don't know what I could do for this place. I mean, I could do anything, right? But it's like kind of like a little below. I mean, it's a big place that acts, but they act that way because that's them, right? I'm not gonna tell them who to be. Maybe they need to be told that, but I don't want to do that. So I'm not really interested in getting involved in Columbus. It's a dead end. The people who work in Washington, D.C. told me that. They said it's a dead end. You're stuck here if you're here. They were pretty much like, I'm here to get you out of here. And I was all angsty and pissed off because a couple things, like sleeping with another person. And, I mean, obviously, if you do that the first week we're together, we're not really together ever again. Um, or any time we're together, really, probably, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it matters. It's just another female. What did I expect it to do? Anyways, fuck Columbus. I can't believe they let these fucking cowards fucking run this place. These fucking scumbags terrorize. I mean, they let the scumbags fucking terrorize me. Fuck Columbus. I mean, fuck the whole place, dude. They let them fucking terrorize me like that's my whole life they've been stalking me. They didn't just, it's not just the mutilation, child pedophilia mutilation and rituals at birth and the drugging. It's like they're like banding together. And they know this too. Like it's somehow in their evil demon brains, they they dropped the act that they failed kindergarten and would talk to me about my personal life. Although that did occur more on the West Coast, but it's definitely here. And save the people stalking and terrorizing me and drugging me from who? Themselves? You gotta watch. You gotta watch letting these people in because if you're like secure and you're not one of them, then I guarantee you that everyone's got some little soft spot. You got some big tits, or we're find a rat with big tits or something. We're gonna have to kick half the men in the enclave out. And well, kicking them out means they now have all that information. Maybe kicking them out ain't a good answer. If you get my drift there. But yeah, bro. Apparently, I mean, this is a real war going on in this world, and I mean, they're actually bringing like the Cool War, the hoorah, hoorah, bang, bang, boom. They're bringing that stuff. Obviously, it looks like. I mean, they did 4 years ago, and supposedly Alex Jones said people do that every 4 years. And just last time it was bigger and better, more plagues, more fires, and more drugging, more manipulation, more stalking. Definitely 2020 was more because I left my house. I got tricked into that. I'm gonna go save a country of people who are working with some other demons who are worshiping. We're not just working with them, not just working under them as servants, but worshiping. Literal worship in some instances, but the figurative worship is, I mean, Mormons don't talk about TV or some of these Hollywood people as much as some people do that stuff. I would have no idea who Kim Kardashian is or Bigfoot if other people didn't tell me that stuff. But yeah, it's like wow, wow. Who am I protecting? I like we get who's out here like sorting out who's the demon possessed and who's not. Is someone making a list besides me? I have to do all the fucking work. I have to certify, vet, and monitor 14 billion humans by myself. And I'm not, I see that as a threat. I see that right there. Yeah, that's what you do. That's your job. It's like, okay, I don't think you're stable enough to comprehend uh, the mission we're going to have to achieve if we're going to clean things up. Um, because that's pretty bad math if you think I can monitor and babysit 14 billion people, interrogate them, and do background checks on them. And I mean, really, it does take a couple seconds, but I don't want to waste 28 billion seconds doing that. And who's going to line them, drive them up, and line them up? Exactly. It's going to be a lot more than 28 billion seconds. Going to have to go walk to them, drive to them. Right. Okay. I've already had my interviews with a lot of them. We got plenty of them on camera. We got plenty of my interactions on camera. We got plenty of my interactions recorded. on in text messages and um, other formats. You don't go into a barn and like hear chickens clucking and then pecking you, and then you're like, "Where's the kitty cat?" Unless you know there's a cat in there, right? I guess most barns do have cats. So, if you've ever been on a farm, you actually would go into a barn and be like, "Where's the kitty cat?" Because the cat's probably in the barn. So that's a bad analogy. Um, yeah, and then it cluck cluck cluck. It's like, no, I don't know. What are we gonna do in Columbus? I mean, it's them. They'd literally, their people not only pretty much just run the whole nation, but they have an entire city. Jeffrey Epstein's people, Lex Wexner, built a city. Built a city. You understand? There's nothing I just said in that sentence that is an overstatement or hyping up something. It's called New Albany, built by Lex Wexner. That's Epstein's partner. And he had Epstein there, and they had concerts, debate little kids there. Built a city, not a little village with a post office and two houses and a corner mart, a city, okay? And what what should I do? Go up to just be like, hey, you guys gotta leave. Yeah, that'll work. People probably love New Albany. I'm pretty sure they do. It's rich and fancy. I bet you people love that place. I bet you they travel out there to go see his mansions, his Epstein mansions, for the Christmas worship stuff. Like, oh, look, the lights on Epstein's mansion are so beautiful. You think I'm making that up? That you really think that people didn't do that? Because I am making it up, but I'm sure it actually happened. That's what happens. That's what Christmas is about. It's about their people making you drive out there and take your children to look at their mansion. Oh no, it really is. Anyways, when you see that they're the ones controlling the cults, I mean, they're the ones in charge of these hospitals doing the pedophilia, sacrificial rituals, dude. But I don't know what people want from me. Like, wait, you want some floods or something? Like, and someone was discussing that with me, and it's like, no, well, last time someone was getting all upset. Maybe this was one of the evil demons getting all upset when the blizzard came and stuff. And I was like, well, people don't want that, then we don't do things like that. Let's call off things like that. People were pretty happy when there was fires on the West Coast, and I asked for rain to put that out. How do you want it fixed? Well, you can just be like, oh, demon leave. Demon leave the body you were born in. Um, you ever heard of the word crusade? Witch hunt? That's where that type of action leads to, isn't it? Although it's probably, these days I do understand the right wing a little more. They say when you get older, you get smarter. Or you just become a Republican, one of the two. But not that I mean, it's the same people at the top there, but yeah, I kind of understand some of their stuff these days more than I used to, anyways. Yeah, boy. Well, hopefully you guys enjoy your free Teslas. Everyone got their free Tesla I asked for, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm in complete control of the world. I can do that. I'd still say, see, my first order would be to round up these people who have spoken to me that way and interrogate them before a live public audience about how other people know I'm God all of a sudden. I'd like to hear them explain these things, not how other people know my personal life. And all of a sudden they were like, and why there's people inserted in my life disrupting it, pushing me away from women I'm dancing with and dragging me to that table with them in some instances. Luckily that was a female, because if that was a man, well, I was the bouncer of the place, so I probably could have did anything I wanted, unless the whole place was a honeypot designed to trap me, which was my first thought when Facebook advertised it to me. I thought it was pretty obvious, and the game's pretty obvious sometimes with what it does. Very obvious. Like, it'll send people to be like, hey, you know, I'm about to rob you, but first let me tell you, we're gonna be great friends, and this and that. I'm just like, wait, did you really just say that? Like, they don't know they're doing that, do they? Do they? Boy, that would be messed up if the devils knew they were doing that and acted that way. If they knew they acted the way they did and they just kept capping it up, and especially once they start calling me God and stuff like that, and they're like devils keeping it up, and they know what they're doing. Crusade. See what I'm saying? Like, what are the options here? Um, This city's already ran by the Epsteins. His name's all over the town. What am I gonna do? Well, witch hunt on them? Yeah. That's what we did with Epstein, right? So, yeah, that got me nowhere. Am I still being censored? No, I'm not being censored anymore, right? Oh, let me go help the people who are helping and working for the people who are censoring me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and when the physical war starts, I'm just gonna invite everyone in my house, you know. Um, and the more they look like the evil demon people, the more accepting I'll let them come in first. Oh yeah, Mike DeWine, he can be the first person to come hide under my bed uh, when problems start. I could, cause all that crack I'm smoking, man. I just can't think anymore. I'm becoming more human every day. Not. So I don't know what, but I don't know who. That's the problem. I can't even start. Like, who am I talking to? I guess smarter people like me don't show who they are. It could also be said for some of the worst people against me. But they told me a long time ago not to come out in the open. So I didn't know I was going to experience a world full of demon-possessed devils, or devils who are already in place and invading my life as friends and more than friends. Ew. That makes me have such a sick feeling when I think that my encounters with females might have been something else and a job for someone else.